Hello, I'm There's the Cartographer, and this is the 8th video in my Fallout 76 post-Wastelanders main quest series. Here we are at Morgantown Airport, where we left off last time. We actually stopped off in that medical hut right over there. We checked out the rest of the airport tarmac, though, so why don't we take a look? Well, actually, we need to look in that little Quonset hut first, but then we'll continue on with the rest of this area. I killed a couple of Scorched over here, so I'm hoping that they'll leave us alone, but you can still see a couple of them moving around over there, so we'll see. Alright, and some of the junk here is gone because I picked it up on that playthrough that I couldn't show you. But I do have this little bit of junk that's still lying around here, so it's clear that they were using this to repair bots and maybe even build new ones. But if we head back over this way, we can go into the main bot shop. We can also look at this little structure over here. I'm going to take a look at this. You can see that they actually took iBots and repainted them with Responders colors, which is kind of crazy. But so in here they've got their, basically this is secure supply for medical storage, it looks like. You can see in these fridges they've got either meds or empty IV bags that maybe had saline in them at one point or something. Again, just more medical supplies, purified water and stuff. Anyway, with this terminal you can accept the ability to do camping training. I've already taken it because, again, in that video where I couldn't show you because it went to full screen, I already took that. But anyway, we got this little storage container over here as well. We got some food and drink here. I'm going to take all that. Oh, recipe right there in that container. Anyway, though, and then a little footlocker there. All right. And if we come back over here, we've got another little medical tent here. Or maybe this is where the medical personnel slept. Doctor's bag there, some ammo, and that'll definitely take that. Okay. And here we go. A tent with some actual, some gurneys in it, so you can assume that this was maybe a recovery area. I doubt they would do operations in this, but maybe. I assume that they would need more space around the beds, though. Anyway, so this was the quarantine area, which is clearly marked off there. And that's because this is the area where they kept people that were infected, or where they were conducting experiments on the Scorched. If we come back over this way, you can see that the wall extends all the way over here with a hole in it in this side, but it looks like they even burned this area. Oh, I just started the event collision course. That was accidental. And I'm not going to continue that one. Effectively, what happens is you fire the flare off and, well, you can see a Scorched beast there. They come flying over whenever this event starts. It's a non-hostile one, but you can at least get a look at what these things look like. Anyway, we're not going to do anything in the quarantine just yet, though, but we're probably going to have to live with the doomsday whistle going on in the background. Let's check out the bot stop. Okay, so this Protectron was actually walking around a minute ago. I'm definitely going to have to turn the sound down for this. We got a note right over here. You know what? I'm going to take care of this event real quick. I will come back when it's done, and then we won't have to deal with that. I'll just show you the very ending of this thing. But effectively, just know that you're fighting off waves of Scorched. Alright, here we go. That completes the event. Got a legendary shovel. Alright, and we get this other stuff that's in here. Some ammo, some meds, some water, a weapon or two, and some cash. Now then, let's get back to the stuff that we actually came here for. I also picked up all their weapons, so I'm going to scrap everything real quick, and then we'll actually look at what we came here for. Alright, the stuff's scrapped. Let's take a look. Flatwood supply delivery. Miguel, I delivered part of the supply shipment to your safe as requested. I wasn't sure where you were, guessing you're out in the woods again somewhere. I don't see your robot anywhere either, so I figure you're safe. I'm going to see if Maria needs me to take anything back to Flatwoods, so I'll be back in a day or two. Find me, I miss you, Gary. Alright, and that was Gary Wilkins, who was Miguel's boyfriend. We also have Camp Program 3.4, or version 3.4 I should say. We should just take a look at that real quick. I think that this is a digital program, but I could be wrong. Yes. Okay. Camp Guide Program, version 3.4 beta, notes this loads primary Camp Guide AI, only works with my personal robot until I fix bugs, Miguel Caldera. Okay. And if we try to execute it, it only works with his bot. He's got it, so. Okay. Let's see what else is there to find around here. Well, nothing on that table, but there's this safe right here. This is the safe that he was saying he delivered the supplies to. That was easy. With the plan for cooking spit, some ammo, and some guns and junk. I'll have to scrap some more stuff. We got another holotape here. Again, another copy of the camp guide program, and there's a note here from Gary to Miguel, or Miguel to Gary? I can't remember. My sweet Gary Bean, so Miguel to Gary. I'll be at my camp. Maria is giving me a sanity day so I can relax. Join me. I hope that you brought some of that comfort food from Flatwoods. We can have a picnic. Don't worry, if any volunteers stop by to learn stuff, the robot should be able to take care of them. I wrote a whole program to deal with that, so I can actually relax and enjoy the great outdoors with you now. Love you, dear heart, Miguel. Okay. And we got another note here. Tasks. Oop. Mass Effect and Fallout 76, completely different controls. Dude this week. Fix camping program bugs. Check Flatwoods Chaos for issues. Get Gary a gift for his next visit. Take another chair to the camp. Okay. We got a terminal right here. No telling exactly who this is. It's not Miguel, and it's not Gary, so I don't know who that is. Again, they also shared this place with Sanjay, according to his announcement up there in that terminal up there. So anyway, grab that food out of the fridge there. There's a bathroom in here. That's a shower drain. I always thought this was some sort of like hidden door to something underground. But if we look right here, we got another thing. Flatwoods kiosks. Task: program a new self-serve volunteer kiosk system for Flatwoods. It must be able to process several dozen volunteers a day and should teach them basic skills using time donated by local responders. Your contacts are Kesha and Delbert. Both are willing to be a model for this program. Okay. And let's see. I think other than the terminal, we're done down here. We will come back to that terminal. I just want to see if there's any more notes or holotapes we can play before we get to that, and that'll be the last thing we do here. There's a note right over here. I know that. Don't touch. Don't touch. These things haven't worked properly since the last scorched attack, so I've sealed them as is. Just don't. We don't need them right now anyway. Miguel. Okay. And now they've got a part of a plane here for whatever reason. If we come back up in here, we got what was, in all likelihood, Miguel's bedroom, or maybe Sanjay Kumar's. Again, I don't know. But anyway, we can take a look at this steamer trunk for the location here and grab a couple things out of it. Ooh, black powder pistol. Haven't used one of those in a while. Okay. And there's also a laser pistol there. I should grab that. Okay. Let's head back downstairs and take a look at that terminal. Here we go. Miguel's terminal. And let's see. To-do list. Update the overload program. That's done. Program Protectron to run camp training permanently. Nope. Go outside, relax, spend time with Gary. Unfortunately, we'll find out why that is not checked. And next, store camping materials and save for emergencies. Schematics. That downloads some schematics, it looks like. But I don't see any that actually popped up there. Next, bug reports. And there are several. Bug, dance bot doesn't stop dancing. Comment, factory reset should now save all dance routines. That's fixed. Latest schematics are too complicated. Status closed. Comment, I might in the future add some sort of description that says how hard these things are to build, but for now that's up to the user to figure out for themselves. Bug, poison control bot explodes. Status cannot reproduce. Comment, I don't even think we have those bots anymore. I heard we sent one over to Grafton and it exploded. I'll reopen this if I find another one to test though. First of all, I like that the problem is that the poison bots explode, but also he says here that he can't reproduce it, but the last one he heard about was sent to Grafton where it exploded, which would make sense if it went into the Toxic Valley, which is all poison basically. Bug, responder protectrons have no reaction. Status open. Comment, right now, if you use this program on a regular responder bot, nothing happens, which is safer than the explosions and puppet killing. So I'll hit this bug when I have time. We'll get to the puppy killing here in just a minute. Bug, veterinary bot attacks animals. Status fixed. Comment, this was the worst bug I've ever had to test in my life. R.I.P. Mr. Fluffy, you sweet pup. As I said, dark little bit of humor there. Volunteer bot, personality becomes mean. Status needs verification. Comment, I used this program on Mr. Fluffy, my personal assistant, to reproduce this, and it's confirmed. He's now a jerk. I think I have a fix ready for this, but I haven't tried it out yet. Bug, iBots have no reaction to the program. Status, works as designed. Comment, iBots run on some other system and I don't want to make this work for them. Let's just say it isn't a bug exactly, it's just something I don't want to fix. So, this kind of hints at Miguel's past work, where he says that he was a programmer for Vault-Tec, but we can also find entries of his within a secret bunker, basically underneath the Sugar Grove, so there's no telling exactly what Miguel was up to before all this. Miguel's journal. Warning, database corrupted, and I say that because iBots are Enclave stuff in a lot of cases. Partial entries recovered. Hello world. It's been real hard being on my own since the bombs dropped, but the responders, they have it figured out. They got some people working on vaccines and medicines and stuff. They even turned regular people into volunteers. I took all their survival training programs and passed with aces. Now I'm a responder too. Nifty, right? The cause. The Scorched Beasts scare me more than anything. It's why I joined the responders. I knew I couldn't live alone anymore, and they have stuff figured out. I just wish maybe they get along better with the Brotherhood. It's not us or them, it's all of us together. It's a shame. Now, I don't think that he joined up because of the Scorched Beasts. I think he joined up because he didn't want to be alone and the world was threatening him. I think that's the case. I could be wrong about that, but the Scorched Beasts didn't really show up on this side of the mountains for quite some time. Anyway. Programming again. I used to be a programmer before the bombs fell, and, well, guess what? I program robots now, too. I mean, it's important work, I get it. I can help out in the lab, too, with other programmers, and it's good to have company. They said they'd let me do some outdoor survival orienteering for the new responders, though, so I'm looking forward to that. From his Survivor story, we know that he worked as a programmer, but he really wanted to spend a lot of time outdoors. Hope in Flatwoods. I'm helping a couple of responders to set up a base out in Flatwoods for a bit. They think a bunch of survivors will start getting produced there, so I'm going to go set up the camps. Again, I mean, he was in the responders before Flatwoods was even really a proper outpost. So that kind of shows you how long he's actually been in the responders. I could do this forever. Camping under the stars and helping people out at the same time is a dream, you know? Mr. Fluffy. We're actually making progress. Oh man, I even got myself a new Protectron bodyguard today. It has an attitude problem though, but that's what happens when you get a bunch of parts together randomly. Sometimes. I call him Mr. Fluffy, which really irritated it for some reason. Error, metallic surface is not fluffy. Error, does not compute. I've seen it before, so I'm going to need to write a program that resets their brains. This might take a while. Despair in Flatwoods. Flatwoods is rough. So many refugees, not enough responders. I'm going to start making advanced training courses for the volunteers because there aren't enough of us to train everyone individually. Good news, though. I met someone on the road between the airport and Flatwoods. Glad to have someone who will keep me company. It's a long walk, and Mr. Fluffy, the robot, is not a good exercise partner. Reset program. I wrote a program that will reset my Protectron's brain to a setting that is a little more conventional for a robot instead of standing next to me day and night forever. Which is, I gotta say, really ruining my sex life right about now. Peace, Appalachia. I should have signed up for the Vault-Tec stuff, but the thought of being in a tin can for 100 years was too terrifying. But here it is. Every day more of us die. I haven't seen a refugee in too long. If I'm going to get ripped to shreds, I'm going to be doing it with a pot of Delbras chili, in the woods, and under the beautiful stars. I refuse to die in an office, but I need to wait for Gary. Then we'll go together. And this is it. All I've wanted to do since the bombs fell was to help people and explore what's left of nature. But he's dead, Maria. Gary died this morning. It was just an accident. One of those things broke through the gate. I already buried him up on the hill with the others. What's the point here with any of this if we can't even protect ourselves? I'm going to my camp, and I'll take my robot. I just need to figure things out. And that is where Miguel died, unfortunately. Restricted messages. I think this is all stuff that we've seen before. Okay, and save control. Alright, we are done in this little room here. Let me scrap some stuff real quick. Alright, let's see what else there is to see here. I think we're done in this little room here. Got not even a fusion core in there to take. Alright, let's go back over here to the medical laboratory. We did look at a lot of stuff upstairs. There's still more to see here, though. Grab the boiled water out of the first aid kit. Got some medicine here. Some general medical junk and technology junk over there. Okay. Scorched here on the gurney. Going back out this way. It looks like they were doing surgeries in here. Potentially advanced medical care here. Got a dead doctor here. Alright. Got a microscope and a surgical tray. I should grab that surgical tray here as well. Okay. And then we have this little back room, which is just good storage area and stuff like that. I'll take this other microscope, stim pack, medics, some medicine, and some medical junk. Buff out, take that as well. And IV bags. Okay. Oh, we need to scrap more stuff. Okay. I think we're done back in here, but there's still something to see upstairs. Which is a pair of psych referrals, or psych evaluations, I should say, on this holotape right here. Oh, this is actually only one of the psych evals. That's right, there's two separate tapes. Psych eval Olivia P. Henderson. And we will take a look at that. Olivia was one of the guards for the quarantine here. Confidential, do not reproduce. Begin transcript of audio recording. Dr. Madison. This is Dr. Madison of the responders. I'm conducting a psychological evaluation of patient Olivia Henderson. Olivia Henderson. You forgot the P, Dr. Madison. Of patient Olivia P. Henderson. This session is being recorded. Hello, Olivia. Olivia P. Henderson. Howdy again, Doc. Dr. Madison. Let's get started. First, can you state your current role with the responders? Olivia P. Henderson. Well, let's see. I started as a volunteer like most everyone these days. Didn't do much to help. Then I found out about the quarantine zone here and knew that this is where I had to be. Dr. Madison. For the record, the quarantine zone at Morgantown Airport is where the research and containment of the scorched phenomena take place. Olivia P. Henderson. Yeah, that'd be it. I don't think I'd call it by such a pretty word, though. It's more of a nightmare. Dr. Madison. And your job here is to guard the quarantine zone and take care of the scorched victims? Olivia P. Henderson. Yes, sir. It's my job to keep watch over those doomed souls and make sure they stay locked up. Dr. Madison. Can you tell us why you chose to take this job? Olivia P. Henderson. Well, when the call went out for quarantine guards, it kind of had a disclaimer attached to the job role. Dr. Madison. I see. Can you explain? Olivia P. Henderson. They said it was a permanent position, as in I'm permanently quarantined here too. The scorched are too dangerous and highly contagious, so I can never leave. Dr. Madison. And why did you decide to take that job? Olivia P. Henderson. That one's easy, and I'm pretty sure I told you. It's the cancer. Dr. Madison. Yes, you told me you were diagnosed with terminal cancer just before the bombs. Olivia P. Henderson. Yes, sir. Dr. Madison. But you've survived so long. The doctor said you just had a few years left in you, and you're still kicking. What do you think happened? Olivia P. Henderson. That part I'm not so sure about. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and maybe something with the radiation is slowing down the progress, or maybe it's in recession. Dr. Madison. Remission? Olivia P. Henderson. Yeah, that one. Maybe it's in remission. Dr. Madison. Tell me about the other quarantine guard, Wyatt. Are you two getting along? Olivia P. Henderson. Oh, dear Wyatt. Reminds me of my son, God rest his soul. He's a smart boy. Unlucky as hell, but smart. Kid doesn't deserve what life's handed to him. Dr. Madison. Yes, that's very true. I do have an assessment with Wyatt later this week. Olivia P. Henderson. Be nice to him. He's become like family since we were stuck in that airplane together. Dr. Madison. Will do, but I'm afraid that we're out of time. That wraps up the assessment. Thank you for joining me today, Olivia. The responders do thank you for your service as well. We're truly grateful. Olivia P. Henderson. Just keep delivering the liquor, Doc, and I'm as happy as a clam at high tide. Dr. Madison. Of course, it's the least we can do. In transcript of audio recording. Okay, and evaluation results. Results of the continued interviews with Olivia have proven my initial hypothesis correct. For the most part. Subject is aware, resourceful, mentally able, and psychologically fit to continue her work in quarantine. Subject also shows stubbornness, willful ignorance, and cynicism. We'll be keeping an eye on the signs of background or latent depression. Anxiety is through the roof, but who isn't dealing with that? Recommendation, continue evals of subject, perhaps at a slower pace. Every other month should be good for now. It's the other guard I'm more concerned about. Okay. And that was that. Let's head over to the airplane, like she said. That's where Olivia and Wyatt were living, here within the quarantine. But we're going to take a look inside this little structure here first. Okay, so it looks like we got more laboratory equipment in here. An engine for some reason, I don't really know. Coming back in here, we got some barrels of water, or some other chemical. I can't see the MSDS on the side of this thing properly. Then we got what looks like one of those greenhouse troughs for growing things. I'm not sure what that's doing there. Eye wash station and a sink. And there's a safe there under the stairs. Don't have a high enough lockpick skill. And we got a pile of ashes from where they were burning bodies. Then we also have another place where people were sleeping. I don't know who was sleeping here exactly because it was not Olivia P. Henderson or Wyatt. But we can head on over to the airplane where they were living. Here we go. Alright, we got a recipe here. Some of the old chairs. We got a gate here. Not sure what that's for other than to just keep people from coming in that hole. More chairs. Looks like this was maybe their bathroom. But instead of using the airplane toilets, they appear to have torn them out and replaced them with buckets. Which is awful. But I guess those things probably wouldn't operate very well. Right up here we got a sleeping bag. Another safe. Here we go. Psychoval Wyatt Johnson. Let's take a look. Psychological evaluation of Wyatt Johnson. Confidential, do not reproduce, begin transcript of audio recording. Dr. Madison. This is Dr. Madison of the responders. I'm conducting a psychological evaluation of patient Wyatt Johnson. This subject is being recorded. Hello, Wyatt. Wyatt Johnson. Hi. Dr. Madison. These assessments are informal evaluations that are only intended to get a better understanding of how you're doing. Is that clear? Wyatt Johnson. Yes, doctor. Dr. Madison. Good. I'll be asking a few simple questions. Please answer honestly. First, can you state your current role with the responders? Wyatt Johnson. I make sure the monsters stay locked up. Dr. Madison. The Scorched, you mean? Wyatt Johnson. Yeah, the walking demons. Dr. Madison. Okay, can you describe why you chose to volunteer for this job? Wyatt Johnson. Volunteer? I thought this was mandatory. Dr. Madison. No, it was completely voluntary. We posted the request and conducted interviews. Wyatt Johnson. Oh, I figured that since my mama got scorched, this was my punishment. Dr. Madison. No, Wyatt, this was a completely voluntary role, and your mother, Brenda, was infected by the scorched, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of punishment involved. Wyatt Johnson. I let them get close to her. It's my fault. Dr. Madison. No, it's not. It was an accident, Wyatt. Wyatt Johnson. That don't matter. I know this is my punishment. Dr. Madison. Wyatt, in your interview you said that you had a terminal illness, and that's why you were choosing to be a quarantine guard. Wyatt Johnson. Yeah, I do have a terminal illness. It's called life. Dr. Madison. Wyatt, work with me here. Wyatt Johnson. Can I go now? I promised Livy that I'd grill some dogs tonight. I finally got that grill working. Dr. Madison. We're almost done. Just a few more questions. Wyatt Johnson. When I grill, the kerosene leaks a little and covers up the stench of those monsters. Dr. Madison. I'm sorry, son. We're done. You can go. Evaluation results. Results of the continued interviews with Wyatt have been difficult and troublesome. Subject refuses to cooperate and is showing signs of psychosis and critical detachment. Subject is distant, showing signs of instability, PTSD, and separation anxiety. Or he's just being a smart-ass kid. However, he does seem to get along very well with Olivia. Recommendations: continue eval on this subject on a weekly basis. Keep a careful eye on this one, but should be okay under Olivia's supervision. And doctor's notes. Reminder to check in with Maria whenever possible on holotape inventory availability. Starting to see requisitions cut for other purposes. Should be an investigation of the disappearances of the tapes around here. Until the thief is caught, we'll continue audio to text transcriptions for redundancy. Okay. And let's take a look in here. We got some more stuff. And more armor that I'm going to put on. Along with that, I got to scrap a lot of stuff. We put this armor on and we can go scrap stuff. And I think that we're actually done here, but we do have a couple other things to look at before we go. Okay. But yeah, I don't think there's any more lore to read. I'm going to take those too. Even if I am over encumbered. Love the steel and lead. Did I not? I thought I looted all these guys. I can break down these things as well. Alright, I'm going to go take care of scrapping this stuff, and then we will come back right over here. Alright, we're back. Let's see. We've got potentially someone that was scorched here. Ooh, man, her body is covered in all kinds of nastiness there. We got an APC here with a skeleton in the back of it for whatever reason. If we come over this way, we have another area where they were burning corpses, I think. It looks like it was a... Weirdly, it looks like it was part of a... I mean, I guess this was a Quonset hut. I thought I was looking at a piece of a silo here, but no, this is a Quonset hut. They must have burned this thing down with the scorched inside of it, because you come over here and you can find cages where they also have the scorched. It looks like, in the case of this guy, they actually killed him rather than let him turn. But you can see that the rest of these guys turned. And then out here, there's another area where they were just throwing corpses into a pile. So this is a very grim area over here. Okay, I think that we might actually be done here at the airport. We got this little rear watch post, but other than that, we've seen the entirety of the airport now. Read about all the lore, and so it's now time for us to actually start heading up towards AVR Medical. But unfortunately, we don't have time for that because it took a good half hour to get through all that stuff. This is interesting. I wonder if this opens. Hey, it does. I don't think I've ever done that before. And from there, we have a bridge that takes us over into Morgantown. And that's the way we're going to head next time. But we're not actually going to stop off in Morgantown because there's way too much to see in Morgantown, and we're not actually needing to see any of it, so we're going to just head on down the road. Again, I'm not entirely sure which road I'm going to take this time. I used to take this road because I would stop off at Greg's Mine Supply, but I don't think that that's necessary anymore. So we may... Well, it still is probably the fastest way, so we'll take 89 to probably 86B. Take that on up to the to Highway 59 and follow Interstate 59 over past the Cowspot's Creamery and the giant teapot here and find our way into Charleston that way. Alright. Well, that was the Morgantown Airport. This has been the Resolute Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.